The White House just released a statement that has 67 million Social Security recipients asking the same question. Am I getting that $3,600 increase or not? Here's the truth nobody's talking about. This isn't just another cost of living adjustment. This is about a fundamental shift in how Social Security benefits are calculated, and it could mean thousands more dollars in your pocket. Or it could mean you're left behind while others cash in. I'm going to walk you through exactly what this White House statement says, who qualifies for these increases, and most importantly, what you need to do in the next 30 days to make sure you don't miss out. Because here's what's happening. Some seniors are already seeing these payments hit their accounts, while others are still waiting for answers. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and what steps to take next. The White House statement addresses something called the Social Security Equity Enhancement, but let's cut through the bureaucratic language and talk about what's really happening. For months, seniors have been hearing rumors about significant benefit increases beyond the standard cost of living adjustments. Some claimed it was fake news. Others said it was wishful thinking. But this White House statement confirms that targeted increases are real and they're already rolling out. Here's the situation. Social Security Administration identified gaps in how certain benefits were calculated over the past decade. Think of it like this. If you were shortchanged on your benefits due to calculation errors or outdated formulas, the government is now making it right. This affects three main groups: long-term recipients who've been on Social Security for over 10 years, disabled beneficiaries whose payments were miscalculated, and surviving spouses who didn't receive proper adjustments when their benefits were transferred. The $3,600 figure isn't random. It's the average annual increase these affected groups will see. Some will get more, some less, but this is the baseline correction amount. The Social Security Administration is implementing retroactive benefit corrections and ongoing payment adjustments. Instead of waiting for annual cost of living adjustments, eligible recipients will see immediate increases to correct past underpayments. These aren't loans or temporary boosts. These are permanent increases to your monthly benefit amount, plus lump sum payments to cover the months you were underpaid. Here's where you need to pay attention. You're likely eligible if you fall into one of these categories. Long-term recipients. If you've been receiving Social Security benefits for more than 10 years, especially if you started receiving benefits between 2010 and 2018, your calculations may have used outdated wage indexes. Disability beneficiaries. If you transitioned from SSDI to retirement benefits, or if your disability benefits were calculated using pre-2019 formulas, you're probably due back payments. Surviving spouses. If you switch to survivor benefits after 2015, there's a high chance your monthly amount was calculated incorrectly due to a system error that's only now being corrected. Early retirees. If you claimed benefits before your full retirement age and have been receiving payments for over 8 years, you may be entitled to recalculated benefits based on updated actuarial tables. The Social Security Administration is automatically reviewing accounts in batches. You don't need to apply or file paperwork for most corrections. The system flags accounts that meet the criteria, recalculates benefits using current formulas, and issues both the corrected ongoing payment and a lump sum for past underpayments. However, and this is crucial, some cases require manual review. If your situation is complex, involves multiple benefit types, or includes work history from multiple states, you may need to contact Social Security directly to ensure your case gets reviewed. The rollout started in October 2024 and is happening in phases through March 2025. If you haven't received notification yet, don't panic. The Social Security Administration is processing accounts based on length of time since benefit start date, with the longest-term recipients getting reviewed first. You should receive a letter explaining your adjustment 30 days before you see the increase in your bank account. The letter will show your old monthly amount, your new monthly amount, and the total back payment you're receiving. Here's exactly what you should do right now. First, log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. If you don't have one, create it today. Check your benefit history and look for any notices about benefit reviews or adjustments. Second, gather your benefit statements from the past 12 months. Compare them with your original award letter from when you first started receiving benefits. Look for any unexplained changes or amounts that seem inconsistent. Third, if you fall into any of the categories I mentioned, long-term recipient, disability beneficiary, surviving spouse, or early retiree, and you haven't heard anything by February 1st, call Social Security directly. Don't wait for them to find you. The number is 1-800-772-1213. Best times to call are Tuesday through Thursday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Have your Social Security number, benefit amount, and start date ready. Fourth, keep detailed records of everything. If you receive a lump sum payment, save that documentation. These payments may affect your taxes, and you'll want proof of how much was back payment versus current year income. Finally, be patient but persistent. The system is processing millions of accounts. If you qualify but don't see changes within 60 days of your expected review date, follow up. Don't assume you've been skipped. Sometimes manual intervention is needed to trigger your review. Here's what really gets me fired up about this whole situation. Seniors have lost 20% of their buying power over the past decade, while Social Security increases barely kept up with basic expenses like food and housing. Meanwhile, administrative errors and outdated calculation methods meant many of you were getting even less than you were legally entitled to. Think about that for a minute. While you've been choosing between medication and groceries, between heating your home and paying rent, the very system designed to support you in retirement was shortchanging you by hundreds of dollars every single month. This isn't just about money. It's about dignity. It's about the promise America made to workers who paid into this system for 30, 40, sometimes 50 years. You held up your end of the bargain. You worked, you contributed, you planned for retirement based on the benefits you were promised. And now we find out that calculation errors meant thousands of seniors were living on less than they deserved, not because they didn't save enough or plan well enough, but because a computer system failed them. The average senior affected by these calculation errors was underpaid by $247 per month. Over 10 years, that's nearly $30,000 in lost income. Money that could have meant the difference between struggling and living comfortably. Money that could have meant staying in your own home instead of downsizing. Money that could have meant seeing your grandchildren more often instead of cutting back on travel. This correction is long overdue, but it shouldn't have taken a White House statement and public pressure to make it happen. Here's the critical timeline you cannot ignore. If you're still receiving paper checks instead of direct deposit, you have until September 30th to switch to electronic payments. After that date, paper check processing will be suspended during the benefit review period. This means if you're due a lump sum back payment, you could face significant delays if you're still on paper checks. The Social Security Administration cannot process large payments through their paper check system during the review period. Here's what you need to do before September 30th. Call 1-800-772-1213 and request direct deposit setup, or visit your local Social Security office. Bring a voided check or your bank routing and account numbers. This switch takes 1 to 2 months to process, so don't wait. Also, if you've moved in the past 2 years and haven't updated your address with Social Security, do that immediately. The benefit adjustment letters are being sent to your address on file, and if you don't receive your letter, you won't know when to expect your payment increase. For surviving spouses specifically, if your deceased spouse had any work history after 2018 that wasn't included in your survivor benefit calculation, you have until December 31st to request a manual review. After that, you'll have to wait for the next systematic review cycle, which could be years away. Let me recap what you need to remember. The White House has confirmed that Social Security benefit corrections are real and happening now. If you've been receiving benefits for over 10 years, received disability payments, or are a surviving spouse, you're likely eligible for increases averaging $3,600 annually. Check your My Social Security account, gather your documentation, and don't wait for the system to find you. If you qualify and haven't heard anything by February 1st, make that phone call. Switch to direct deposit before September 30th if you're still getting paper checks, and make sure Social Security has your current address. Most importantly, you've earned these benefits. Don't let bureaucratic delays or complex processes keep you from getting what's rightfully yours. If this video helped clarify the situation for you, hit that like button and subscribe for more Social Security updates. I'll be following this story closely and will update you the moment there's new information. Drop a comment below and let me know. Have you received your benefit adjustment letter yet? What questions do you still have about this process? Next week, I'm breaking down the exact tax implications of these lump sum payments and sharing strategies to minimize your tax burden. You won't want to miss that, especially if you're expecting a large back payment. Until then, stay informed, stay persistent, and remember, you've got this.